and welcome to Northern Athletic Conference hockey action here on Edwards Production Sports. Alongside Mickey Edwards, we'll be bringing you all the action this afternoon as the Massena Central Red Raiders take on the Canton Golden Bears in this championship game. And coming up, we had a chance to talk to head coach Tim Long, coach of the Massena Central Red Raiders, and he had this to say about his hockey club. Chip Chapman at the Massena Arena, along with head coach for the Massena Central Red Raiders, Tim Long. And this afternoon, these two teams, the Massena Central Red Raiders and Canton Golden Bears, will be going at it in the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament. And Tim, you've played Canton once before this season, and you won 7-4. Let's talk a little bit about that game.
Well, it was the second game of the. Well, no, actually, it was the first game of the It was the first game of the tournament, of the Potsdam tournament, and we jumped out, I think, in the first period, maybe 3-0, and Canton came back with a real good effort in the second period, tied it up, and may have gone ahead 4-3. And then we kind of jumped on them. I think we got 4 goals in the last period, and we won 7-4. We were very fortunate in that game. Canton played well, and I thought we played quite well.
Messena 10-0-1 on the season. Let's talk about so far how this team has come along.
Well, I think we've progressed steadily. We had a game with Potsdam last week, and it was ended up in a 3-3 tie. I thought we played fairly well there. You know, of course, you always want to get the win, but Potsdam played an outstanding game. We may have been a little rusty. We were off for a couple of weeks. We had some very good practices and so forth, but we hadn't had the game experience. Potsdam, on the other hand, had gone down to the Rochester area and played 2 very tough teams and were successful down there. I think they were up for the game, but it was a great hockey game. And, you know, we need that kind of thing. It was great competition, and we're happy with where we are right now.
Timmy, let's talk about the lines for one. I know in the Seton Catholic game, the Mark Tayo, Trevor Cameron, and Brian LeBombard line came out right away, did a great job forechecking in the early going, and just put a pressure on that really set the tone, I thought, for that 3-0 Massena win over Seton Catholic last Saturday here at the Massena Arena. Let's talk about that line and then what you've done with the other lines.
Well, of course, you've got 2 seniors there, and you've got Trevor is a captain. And Mark Tayo is very experienced, and Brian LeBombard is a junior with an awful lot of promise. You know, he plays very hard and with a lot of intensity all the time. And they would jump out and they kind of took charge in the game and set the pace and set the tone. But you expect that out of upperclassmen, and that line is done very well. They got the goals against Potsdam. They did very well against Seton, and they played quite well last night. You mentioned the other lines. You've got Jason Chilton is our center on that one line, and they've done quite well early in the season. But sometimes the chemistry changes a little bit, and for whatever reason, we weren't getting much production out of them. Not that they weren't having their opportunities; they were playing quite well, but the puck wasn't going in for them. That happens from time to time. On the other hand, the third line has started out quite well with Bergeron and Matt Reed and Brian Terry, but then they had a little bit of a drought too. So we feel we have to get a lot of production out of Chilton. He's either got to be scoring goals or he's got to be getting an awful lot of assists. And for whatever reason that they weren't, we decided to shake him up a little bit. And last night was the first time out with Reed and Bergeron and Chilton. And I thought they played quite well. They had an awful lot of opportunities. The puck didn't go in the net for them. But on the other hand, that third line did quite well. Now, you take a look at that line in stature, that's a big line. You've got Terry and Gladding and Spanberg. They're big boys, and they all skate quite well, and they move the puck quite well. And they jumped out, and they may have had 5 or 6 total points in the game. So we're very happy with that. We're waiting for Chilton to explode, and I'm sure that we will. You know, he's a very dynamic hockey player, and of course you've got Reed has been very successful, moves the puck very well, got a lot of good puck sense, and Bergeron can fly, and he can put the puck in the net. So it's just a question of time and getting their chemistry right, and I'm sure they're gonna come out okay, and we'll have 3 real top flight lines. That's what we're looking for.
At the beginning of the season, one of the question marks was going to be your defense, because you only had 3 defensemen coming back from a year ago. How's how have they done so far?
Well, actually, when you look at the time played last year, Chris Aldis is an outstanding hockey player, but with the strength we had on defense last year, Chris didn't kind of work into the lineup and was used sparingly until the middle of the season. Then, of course, he exploded and came on strong. So he didn't even have a full season's experience behind him. Kenny Smith didn't play that much during the regular season, so we didn't have much experience back there in the blue line. But Chris is an outstanding player. He's taken charge. He's a captain. Kenny Smith is a senior, and he's just played outstanding hockey. He's been real steady back there. Chris has taken on with Derek DeRocher as a junior. He hasn't had that much experience, but Derek's come along very well, and it's an outstanding combination. Frank Joy's a sophomore. His play has been outstanding. He's progressed from game to game, and he has a real steadying influence out there with Kenny Smith. He's taken charge, and those two combinations have been just super. Now in the last few weeks, Mike Anabanet is a junior, and he's come along and he's gotten some more playing time. And despite an injury last week to Mike Virno, he played quite well last night, and we're going to try to get him a little more ice time. And you try not to make promises that you can't keep, but we mentioned to Mike Virno that he did play well, and we're looking to get him a little more ice time, and we're going to try to slip him in when we can and get him some more experience. He's a senior and he's a big boy. And
Quickly, the goaltending.
Well, goaltending's been simply outstanding. Jason Simpson's running a little academic difficulties, but he played quite well when he's played. Mike Ramsdell's our number one. He's our senior. His play has been outstanding. Brian Garcia, he's just been super as a junior. He's very quick, and he's playing very well. We used him last night, and we're going to use him in the championship game today, and I expect nothing but good things from Brian.
Okay, so what do you look for today? Any changes from the first time you played Canton?
Well, I really don't anticipate any real changes. I would have to guess that Canton's feeling pretty good about themselves, and I would think that they would come at us real hard. On the other hand, we're going to have to go out there with all the intensity that we can generate, and we have to break it down to simply a talent against talent type situation, and I think we've got the upper hand, at least as far as depth with our forwards is concerned. And I think if we can stretch them out to that point where we're just going, absolute God-given talent, I think we can be successful. But we'll have to play at our most intense.
The Massena Central Red Raiders 10-0-1 coming into championship play today here at the Massena Arena, and they take on the Canton Golden Bears coming up shortly. Tim Long, coach of the Massena Central Red Raiders, thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you, Chip.
Okay, we'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Massena Arena. Chip Chapman and Mickey Edwards back here ready for the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament as the Massena Central Red Raiders hosting the Canton Golden Bears. These teams arrived here at the finals today by last night winning in the first round of this tournament. The Canton Golden Bears 4-1 winners over the Potsdam Sandstoners, Mickey, in a game that was closer than what the score indicated. It was 1-1 after 2 periods, and then the Golden Bears scored 3 times, the last goal coming in an empty net to win 4-1. Rob Parcell scored 2 goals in that hockey game. John Fay and Mike Bushaw finishing out the scoring for Canton. The Massena Central Red Raiders won 5-2 as they defeated the Northwood Prep B team. Derek Gliding had 2 goals. Trevor Cameron, Josh Spanberg, Brian LeBombard in that game, finishing out the scoring for the Red Raiders. So we are just about set to go with championship action. It's the number 2 seeded in New York State, the Massena Central Red Raiders, against the number 3 seed, the Canton Golden Bears. Glad to have you on board for this afternoon's action, and here we go. The Golden Bears right off the draw roll the puck in deep, and it's DeRocher playing along the boards for the Red Raiders. The big check handed out. Red Raiders clear the puck to center. Reed was slowed down on a play, and this is Derek DeRocher in over the line. Now the Red Raiders slide one right on net, and the save made. John Applenap is the goaltender this afternoon. A.J. Weiss played last night, and Applenap gets to start tonight for the Massena Central Red Raiders. Brian Garcia, who made 16 saves in the win last night, is back in the net tonight for Tim Long's Massena Central Red Raiders.
Brian played a great game last night.
This is DeRocher. Now the Red Raiders lose the puck and flipping in for the Golden Bears was John Fay. Red Raiders trying to move it out to center. They do. This is Chris Aldis. Bergeron knocked down at the blue line, and the Golden Bears changing on the fly. Here's the set, he scores!
He caught Brian Garcia.
Brian Coakley
just inside the blue line.
Scores, and the Canton Golden Bears at the 101 mark get a goal from Brian Coakley as the rest of the Canton team changing on the fly. Coakley just let the slap shot go. Nobody in front of the Massena net. And Garcia just misplayed it, Mickey. And it's a 1-0 Canton lead.
Massena got caught on the fly. They're making a change up. And Coakley came down the far side of the ice, just stepped over the blue line and fired it. And I think it caught Brian Garcia a little off guard.
Golden Bears in pressing the Raiders. Again a centering try in front. This time Frank Joy is there to intercept. Intended pass for Taiwo at center from Cameron, but that did not connect. And the Golden Bears back in their own zone, play at the center ice. Frank Joy's back skating in his own zone with a puck. Being watched on the play by Canton's John Fay. And the Red Raiders roll it in deep. Now after it is K-Roo Geddes. Puck is in the corner. Red Raiders applying some pressure. Now it's to the side, and LeBombard slides in front, but Tile. The pass was behind him. Now it's goal! And it rolls right in the crease.
Joey put the puck out front, and boy, that was close. Right near the post, Canton goalie covers up.
And Applenap had to make the save. 13:09 to play, first period. Canton lead at 1-0.
Stop down to the Hotel Netto, located on Andrew Street in Massena, on Fridays and Saturday nights from 10 to 2 for the live band nightlife. Visit Jerry Morin Sundays from 5 to 9 for karaoke, and Wednesdays from 12 noon to 2 p.m. for karaoke with Jerry Morin. When you're out and around, stop down to the Hotel Netto, where you'll always find something going on. The Hotel Netto, once again located on Andrew Street in Massena.
Chris Aldis with a shot from the point that goes wide of the mark. And the Golden Bears slide down into the Massena zone. Aldis back for the Red Raiders for Derek DeRoche. Now this is B.J. Terry. Brian Terry to center, has a poke checked off his stick. And the Golden Bears back the other way. Ed Fay with it. He is slowed down right at the Red Raider line by DeRoche, and Chris Aldis with it. Red Raiders with Terry out there, along with Derek Gladding and Josh Spanberg. This is Spanberg in the corner. Slowed up, Terry with it. Terry behind the net, centers it in front. Aldis holds in at the line. Now Aldis moving in, shooting, in a save made by Applenap. Mickey lost the rebound, didn't know where it went, but here the Golden Bears back to center. Rob Parcell. A long shot, and he scores! So 2 shots from the blue line, the Massena blue line, score as they get past goaltender Brian Garcia, who's off to a very shaky start in this one, Mick, and it is a 2-0 hockey game.
11:59 left in the first period, and Brian Garcia hasn't been tested too much. And that's one things the goalie likes to do is get the first couple shots down, build their confidence, and I think Brian's having a little tough time today. Massena's got their work cut out for him now.
So now the Red Raiders back the other way. Reed in alone. Reed slides it in.
Nice goal. Put it through the 5-hole.
Wow, Matt Reed.
Nice goal.
And the Red Raiders come right back. They now only trail 2-1 as right off the face-off.
Matt Reed gave the head fake left, put it right, and slid it right between Applenap's leg. A pretty goal there by Matt Reed.
So 2-1, and we've had 3 goals in less than 4 minutes in this hockey game. Golden Bears roll it down into the Red Raider zone. Battling along the boards, and Raiders come away with it. This is Chilton. Chilton now to center. He's got move. He's got Bergeron and Reed with him. Chilton lets the shot go. Applenap the save. The rebound as Bergeron collided.
And I think the net's off, so that's the call for stoppage of play.
11:24 remaining here in our first period. Wow, what a beginning to this hockey game. And it was Rob Parcell scoring the second goal for Canton. We'll have to get the assists after the period, Nick. And then the Red Raiders, Matt Reed.
Matt Reed with a pretty goal.
Red Raiders going with Chilton along with Reed and Bergeron. Here's a shot from Aldis that goes wide of the mark. Bergeron with it in the corner. Slides in front. Matt Reed just couldn't control a bouncing puck. Now at center, Chris Aldis slides it back in, and back in his own zone for the Golden Bears is Thad Green. Green now for Jeff Gilson. Gilson is stopped.
That's going to draw a penalty, and Massena's going to go on the power play.
Interference to call. And that penalty comes at the .402 mark. So the Red Raiders on the power play here. So Gilson goes out for interference, .402 mark, and the Red Raiders on the power play. They have Cameron centering LeBombard and Mark Tile, which is that second line out for the Red Raiders, and then DeRocher and Aldis. Back at the point, that was Chris Aldis, who was being hounded on the play by Canton's Andy Crow. And now the Red Raiders moving over the line once again. Cameron, nice pass on the stick of LeBombard, but he overskated the puck. Tile knocked down right in front of the Canton goal. Red Raiders controlling in the corner. They play it behind the net, but nobody there for Massena. And Brian Wallace tries to clear, but he can't. Aldis now for Tile. Tile being watched on the play by Ed Fay. Here's a shot fired wide of the mark. 40 seconds left on the Canton penalty. 10:06 to play here in our first period. 2-1 Canton in the lead. Now the give and go as LeBombard and Cameron try to connect, but they can't.
Massena able to keep the puck in the zone. They're having a hard time setting it up and working it around.
Here's a shot fired by Aldis. That's wide of the net. And the Golden Bears just roll at the center. Randy Brown changing penalty killers. Now
good give and go there.
Aldis, and he fires a shot high over the glass and out of play. 2-1 our score. Canton in the lead. Don't go away.
At Pete's Jewelers on Phillip Street in Massena, you can find elegant art-carved diamonds from a business that has carried art-carved diamonds since 1950. If bracelets or chains are what you desire, visit Pete's Jewelers for 14-karat gold bracelets and chains with a lifetime guarantee. Or maybe you're looking for the hard-to-find antique jewelry. Visit Pete's Jewelers on Phillip Street in Massena for all of your fine jewelry needs or in-store repairs. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 5, and open until 8 on Fridays.
And we have a slight delay here as Randy Brown, the coach of the Canton Golden Bears in his third season, wants some time elapsed. As I heard some of the Canton fans saying, hey, about 8 seconds were played and the clock did not move, Mickey. So they were screaming, complaining about that, and rightly so, because they do have a penalty player in the penalty box.
That's right.
So the time is ticked down from 8 seconds remaining on that penalty to just 3, and now the penalized player back on for Canton, so they're back at full strength. Red Raiders going with Terry along with Gladding and Spanberg out here. Spanberg in forechecking. This is Kenny Smith letting a shot go, deflected in front of the Canton goal, and cleared the length of the ice. Going after the loose puck for Canton is Rob Parcell. Parcell now battling along the boards with Smith. Now Parcell centers it right in front, but Mike Bushaw, who was behind the Canton player. Now Derek Gladding slides to center. This is Josh Spanberg. Spanberg slowed up on the play by Dan Jacobs. Spanberg knocked down. And this is Parcell. Or check that Dan Bullock with it. Bullock trying to center in front. Poke checked off his stick by Frank Joy. Now in front. The Golden Bears trying to set up. Puck is loose. Glotting knocks down Bullock. No call on the play. And Massena will play to center. Derek Glotting 2-on-1. He's got
he's offsides. He's offsides.
As Derek Glotting and Josh Spanberg on a 2-on-1, but Spanberg a little bit too anxious to get in over the line, and we have a penalty coming up.
Looks like Glotting's going to go off. I'm not sure what for, Chip.
That penalty comes at the 6:35 mark. We'll wait to see what the call is. Our referees for this afternoon's championship game here at the Massena Arena are Mike St. Louis and Butch Martin. So 6:35, Derek Glotting goes off for unsportsmanlike conduct.
You got a little excited on that last play, and it's hard to do. You're excited. You've got a 2-on-1 chance. Get a little anxious. And
Golden Bears going with a penalty or a power play unit here of John Fay out there, along with Brian Coakley, Ed Fay, Chris Appleknap, and Thad Green. And then over the line, here's a shot taken by Ed Fay. That goes off a leg, and the Red Raiders will clear. Tim Long sending out. Well, now they're changing. The Red Raiders changing penalty killers on the fly here. Mark Tile, Chris Aldis, Trevor Cameron, and Derek DeRocher. The penalty killing unit. Canton at center ice. Rob Parcell. A long shot.
Nice.
Garcia stick that one away. Here's another shot from the point. And after Canton scoring the first two shots they take on the Massena goaltender, here's one sliding in front. And Garcia just got a piece of that. A good setup as a pass from Brian Wallace at the blue line was redirected. Now in front, the Golden Bears score. A power play goal, and I believe it's going to go to Rob Parcell, who redirected one in between the legs of Brian Garcia. It is a 3-1 Canton lead. And Mickey, after a flurry of action in the Massena zone, and Garcia came up with a couple of saves. So Jacobs and Bushaw get assists. Now the Red Raiders back. And a shot by Bergeron that Appleknap gets a piece of, and puck just went wide. Frank Joy at center ice. Now Bergeron to Chilton. Chilton in over the line. It's got Reed going into the net. Pad save, rebound, and Matt Reed just slid it wide of the mark. Chilton behind the net. Now for Bergeron. Matt Reed trying to set up. The Golden Bears have it. They can't clear it. Good play by Kenny Smith as he moved up to keep that in the zone. Canton still unable to clear. This is Bergeron. Bergeron in the slot area. Spin around, and a shot taken by Chilton. And his shot went wide. Now Reed knocked down, and the Golden Bears clear to center ice and down into the Massena zone, and that's where play stops as icing is called. 6:14 remaining here in our first period. Canton leading in the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament, 3-1.
Month during the Golden Gift Sale at your Golden Rule Lumber Center, you can save on the 7¼ circular saw from Makita, complete with carbide tip blades, now at the low price of $119.99. This and other great value is on sale now at the home of the professionals, your Golden Rule Lumber Center. That's LBM Lumber, Route 37 in Hogansburg.
Good scoring opportunity for the Red Raiders a moment ago, but off the mask of goaltender Appleknap,
Brian LeBombard off the faceoff and ripped one real high off the face mask of Appleknap.
And the Golden Bears threatening once again in the Red Raiders zone. This is Mark Tile now with it. Tile just skated out of his own zone. Tile being back checked on the play by Gilson. Gets away from a check, a pass for Cameron. He had trouble controlling. And now stepping in over the line once again for Canton. A pass across as that was Jeff Gilson. Broken up, Red Raiders now finding themselves being pressured in their own zone. From the point of high shot, Brian Coakley, who has one of the goals here in this hockey game so far for Canton, ripped that one but wide. Now the Red Raiders break out. Spanberg, Josh Spanberg tries to put a move on Coakley. He steers the puck away. 5:05 to play in our first period. Red Raiders trailing in this hockey game by a score of 3-1. You're watching the Massena Invitational Tournament championship game here on Edwards Production Sports, Cable 36. Happy to have you with us this afternoon. First two shots that the Golden Bears took, Mickey's, were goals on shots from the Massena blue line. And the Red Raiders are trying to dig themselves out of a hole here in the early going in this hockey game. Frank Joy for Spanberg. Now Terry, he overskates. Spanberg with it. Josh Spanberg to center, now in over the line. The Golden Bears break that up. Now Spanberg, a pass intended for Brian Terry. Behind him, and Gladding going in against Brian Wallace. Gladding comes away with a puck. Gladding centers in the slot. Spanberg couldn't find it. Here's his shot. That's ripped wide of the mark by Joy. Smith behind the net. Gladding in front. Spanberg. Yeah, scores! Nice play. Josh Spanberg, Mickey, that time waited for Appleknap to go down to his knees. Put it up top.
That was an excellent play. He took his time. He picked where he wanted to put it, and he put it there. Nice shot.
And the Red Raiders, once again, only trailed by a goal. So Spanberg gets the goal. Brian Terry and Derek Gladding pick up assists on the Red Raiders' second goal. This is Chilton. Controlling for the Red Raiders, now Bergeron. Matt Reed going to the net. Here's his shot. Appleknap plays off his blocker. Red Raiders with Chilton out there along with Reed and Bergeron. Aldis and an Abinet back at the points. And centering a try in front. And Chilton deflected it wide. It's a loose. Oh! What a save. That might went off the post, Chip. Appleknap, I think, got a leg on it, Mickey. Made an excellent save on Jason Chilton as the Red Raiders starting to show a little bit more offense here. Chilton. Oh, he is a big hit. Knocked down by Dan Jacobs right at the line. Here's a long shot. Garcia no trouble with that save. Getting the Golden Bears changing on the fly. Here's a pass for Cameron, and he fell down in the center ice area. Golden Bears back in their own zone. Brian Wallace. Wallace will play at the center. This is Jeff Gilson. Gilson, a pass intended for Appleknap behind him. Now Cameron, a nice pass on the stick of LeBombard. And a good sliding play by defenseman Brian Wallace. Here's a Nabinet. Kick save. Let's see.
And it looks like Cameron's going to go off for interference at 2:54 left in the first period. We'll be back after this.
Burns Truck Stop number 9 is a gas station featuring discount gas, and it's also a convenience store. Burns Truck Stop number 9 is located right along Route 37 in Hogansburg on the Indian Reservation.
Red Raiders killing off a penalty here. 2:48 to play in our first period. 3-2 Canton in the lead. Red Raiders going with Joy and Smith LaBombard and Mark Tile, the penalty killers. And the Golden Bears on the power play. They move in over the line. Here's a shot by Bullock. That misses. Another shot in Garcia. Good save there. From the point. Shot. Knocked down. It's loose. Garcia down. And the rebound. Kenny Smith was quick to get over there as he got there just before Dan Bullock. Or Bullock would have had an empty net. Now at the point. This is Thad Green. A shot with some commotion in front of that Massena goal.
Chip, Massena's letting number 10 from Canton sit right in front of the net, and you can see right there, he was there to put that puck in the net. He's got to be cleared out.
Dan Bullock scores.
I don't think Brian Garcia saw
Power play goal.
That's right. I don't think Brian saw any much of that.
And it is now a 4-2 hockey game as the Canton Golden Bears playing good offensive pressure on the power play. And Dan Bullock alone in front. Once again, I think put it between the legs of Garcia. So Wallace and Bushaw pick up assists. And I think it was Bullock that got the goal. Well, once again, we'll have to check after the period. Now the Red Raiders off the draw. Brian Terry trying to step in front of the Canton goal, but he was too well tied up on the play. Glotting battling with Bullock. And look out over there in the Canton section as that one almost joined him. Here's a shot from Joy. And Appleknap with a save, and he holds on for a face-off. Down to 1:39 to play here in our first period of the Massena Invitational Tournament Championship game. And there you see our score. And the Red Raiders going with that Terry, Glading, Spanberg line, and Abbott and Smith back at the points. Loose in the Canton zone. Finally, the Golden Bears roll at the center. Kenny Smith. Ooh, a dangerous play as the Golden Bears. Almost had a breakaway there. Now Brian Coakley wraps it off the boards to his teammate John Fay. Fay is run off the puck by Glading. Red Raiders behind their own goal. And Abinett being watched on a play by Appleknap. But Appleknap controlled the puck momentarily, now lost it. This is Spanberg. Spanberg in over the line. Nice move to get around one check. Spanberg's got Glading going in front of the net, but here's a shot. Deflected! Yeah!
Oh my God, how did he miss?
Brian Terry had an outstanding scoring opportunity that just failed to connect.
And there's going to be a penalty call behind the play on Canton. Number 12. Chris Appleknap's going to go off and give Massena another chance to work their power play. And what a chance in front Massena just had. I don't know how he missed.
Brian Terry that time, Mickey, with an excellent opportunity.
Oh, working real hard.
So Chris Appleknap, who's the brother of goaltender John Appleknap, goes to the penalty box for holding. And that penalty comes with just 47 seconds remaining here in our first period. And Canton in the lead, 4-2. Golden Bears down in their own zone as the Red Raiders on the power play. Kenny Smith holds in at the line. Down behind the net, Chilton. This is Matt Reed. Bergeron trying to set up in front. Chris Aldis at the point. Kenny Smith into the slot area, loose in front. Matt Reed was too well tied up by Canton defenseman Dan Jacobs as he couldn't get his shot off. Good play by the Canton defenseman. 15 seconds to play in our period. All this for Kenny Smith. Smith a drive, that's wide of the mark. Down to 5 seconds in our period. Here's a shot. It's behind the Canton goaltender, Appleknap.
Boy, oh boy, with just 3 seconds left, Chilton takes a shot. The puck's dribbling about 5 feet from the line, and Kenny Smith couldn't get there to put it in. And what an exciting first period we had, Chip.
Lots of goals, 6 to be exact. 13-9. Shots on goal in that first period. And we will be back with an interview with Randy Brown.
We have head coach Randy Brown, coach of the Canton Golden Bears, and his team 10-1-1 on the season, coming into this championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament against the Massena Central Red Raiders. And first of all, Randy, you two have met once before this season with Massena winning that hockey game 7-4.
Yeah, second game of the year we played Massena down in the Potsdam tournament, and what happened is we got kind of a soft goal. We had a letdown, and boy, you can't have a letdown against a team like Massena. They jumped all over us, and before we knew it, we were down 7-3, and the game was over.
Okay, so 7-3, and then since then, you guys have been like unbeaten in your last 10. Obviously, no letdown.
Oh, no, I'm real happy with the way we responded after that. The potential was there for us to get down on ourselves and, you know, play a little mediocre, but we haven't. We've come out with a vengeance. We've played real well to this point in the year.
Let's talk about some of the players on this Canton team, maybe starting with some of the seniors.
Well, we have 5 seniors on the team. Robbie Parcell and Danny Bullock are 2 captains. They've been leading the way when there's been in tough games. They've risen to the occasion all year. Thad Green, defenseman, he's a senior, been rock steady back there. Then we have Andy Crow and Eddie Fay. They're primarily penalty killers, play on the third line, do a great job for us. You know, we need someone there. We get that third line, they give us a spell. Perfect.
The goaltending, John Applenap, and along with A.J. Weiss have been playing very well.
Very well. That was one of our question marks before the year when we lost a 2-time All-Northern last year in Tommy Bissell, and we didn't know how those guys would step forward, and boy, they've really stepped forward in a big-time way.
How about the forwards and up front?
We've been putting the puck in, and we scored a lot of goals this year. It seems to have gelled really, really nicely this year, the forwards. We seem to have good team chemistry, and things are progressing, like I say, really well.
And what about today's game? Anything different? You played Massena, lost the first time. Are you going to do anything different scheme-wise? How you forecheck or how you backcheck? Or...
No, we're going to go with the same basic format. The thing you have to concentrate on is the fundamentals. We got to make sure we don't break down low. We got to make sure that we have our reads right before our defensemen are diving. We have to make sure we get back. You know, all the fundamentals. Those are the little things you have to do when we play a team like Massena. Because if you give them a little bit, I'll tell you they'll take a mile.
Head coach Randy Brown from Canton, who is, as of last Wednesday, a dad for the second time. And how's mom and the baby doing?
Very well, very well. Yep, Samantha Marie was born last Wednesday, right in the first period of the Ogdensburg game. I wasn't at the Ogdensburg game, but we had a blessing nonetheless.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Very best of luck with this hockey team and, of course, with the new baby. And best of luck the rest of the season with Canton.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back.
Carpet and Floor Center, located on Main Street in Massena, would like to invite you down to take a look at their large selection of carpets, vinyl floor coverings, wallpaper, and blinds. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 2, and in the evenings by appointment. So come on down to Northway Carpets and Floor Center on Main Street in Massena, or call them at 315-769-7231. 315-769-7231.
Welcome back to the Massena Arena. We're after one period of play in the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament. The Massena Central Red Raiders trailing in this hockey game to the Canton Golden Bears by the score of 4-2. And here to recap that first period, a very busy first period.
Busy, 6 goals.
Is Mickey Edwards.
Starting out 1-0, Brian Gokley at the 1-on-1 mark of the first period put the Bears up 1-0. And Rob Parcell put it 2-0 at the 3:01 mark from Thad Green and Brian Wallace. Massena countered to make it 2-1, Matt Reed from Jason Chilton. And Rob Parcell from Dan Jacobs and Mike Bushaw gave Canton the 3-1 lead at this point. Massena, Josh Spanberg, Brian Terry, Derek Ladding combined to make it 3-2. And Canton's Dan Bullock from Mike Bushaw and Brian Wallace makes it 4-2. And that's where we stand.
2 power play goals for Canton in that first period. I see the Red Raiders have a goalie change as Brian Garcia is no longer in net, and it'll be Mike Ramsdell in goal.
Chip, Brian doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. Today's a real big game, and sometimes you just can't be afraid to say, look, I'm having an off day. I don't feel a little comfortable. Hey, that stuff happens. That's part of the game.
A tough start. The first 2 shots that Canton took, they scored. The shots came from about the blue line, and that put the Red Raiders down 2-0 in the early going.
I think at this point what Massena has to do is just settle down. They have 2 solid periods of hockey left, and with the offensive power and threat that they have, I don't see there being a problem with Massena getting right back in this game real quick.
Canton Golden Bears 10-1-1 on the season. And the Massena Central Red Raiders, of course, 10-0-1 on the season. Canton's only loss has come to the hands of course, the Massena Central Red Raiders 7-4 early in the season. And the Massena Central Red Raiders and Canton Golden Bears only tie of the season that's gone to the same club, and that's the Potsdam Sandstoners. Red Raiders in, Chilton in the slot. Scores!
Chilton puts it home and makes it 4-3 Massena. No, excuse me, 4-3 Canton. And like I said, Chip, the scoring power that Massena has, it's a power play goal. They're right back into this real quick.
That goal comes at the 22-second mark of the second period. And it makes it a 4-3 Canton lead. So Reed and DeRocher pick up assists. 22 seconds of time. Red Raiders once again in front. But this is LeBombard. LeBombard. Now Cameron back to LeBombard. They fail to connect in the Golden Bears. Back, a pass intended for Mike Bushaw. A little bit too far for him. Bushaw, a moment ago, had a good scoring opportunity and just fired wide on Mike Ramsdell. Now Bushaw again slides in front of the net. That one intended for Mike Bullock. A little bit too far for him. Golden Bears, Bullock ridden off the play. Tayo's pass too far for check that behind Cameron. Back in his own zone. This is Rob Parcell. Parcell loses the puck behind the net. Now Brian Terry intercepts. Pad saved by Applenap. Canton will skate to center. Bullock. Oh, nice check there by Frank Joy as he completed that check and find style. Mick
he sure did. Rode the play around nicely. We're going to have a penalty behind the play, and it looks like it's going to be Massena. Number 3, Frank Joy, going off for interference. He made a beautiful play along the boards to rub out Canton player, and he's going to pick up a penalty.
13-18 remaining here in our second period. 4-3 our score. Canton Golden Bears in the lead in this championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament. In the consolation game, it was the Northwood Bees defeating Potsdam in overtime 5-4 as Northwood scored with 1:04 left in the overtime period to win that consolation game.
Boy, what a game that was.
Golden Bears setting up in power play in the Massena zone. This is Brian Coakley at the point. Coakley along with John Fay out there. Ed Fay. Thad Green.
Canton being real disciplined on their power play, working it around.
And Aldis sliding behind the net, but right to Canton's Ed Fay. Fay still with a puck. Now back to the point. Shot, off the side of the net. Is that one off the stick of Thad Green? Red Raiders will clear the rebound, and Josh Spanberg has it at center. Spanberg in over the line, and just as he was letting that shot go, the Canton defenseman fell down. And if Spanberg could have pulled that one back, Mickey would have had a breakaway.
Yes.
Red Raiders going with Chilton, Spanberg, Aldis, and DeRocher, the penalty killers. 20 seconds remaining on the Massena penalty. That one fired into the Canton bench area. And we get a stoppage of play. 12:07 remaining, second period. Canton in the lead, 4-3.
Oh,
Welcome Homes of Massena would like to wish you a Merry Christmas by offering houses you can purchase for $400. That's right, $400. Any questions? Kathy A. Davis, area manager, would be happy to answer them at their Route 37 location. Or you can phone Kathy at 769-5300.
Canton with just 8 seconds remaining on their power play with a puck in the Massena zone. And it's stolen momentarily by Inhabitant. Now slid in front. Kenny Smith intercepts that one. And penalized player back on. Raiders back at full strength. So 3-on-1 break now for Massena. LaBombard in over the line right side. LaBombard slides across for Tile, but a little bit too far for him. Tile with it now. Mark Tile tries to go to the backhand.
It's in the goal! And it's Mark Tile!
Mark Tile ties the hockey game.
And I knew, Chip, Massena's power and the threat that they have with 11:28. They've tied the game at 4. That goal going to Mark Tile.
.11:28 to play here in our second period of this championship game, and this one's been a real shootout. Boy, oh boy. 8 goals so far in the game, each team with 4. And the Red Raiders back once again. Tile in over the line. Oh, as Tile and Cameron had run into one another, or the Red Raiders would have had clear sailing in on goaltender Applenap. Here's a shot blocked in front by Smith. And the puck is backhanded out of play. So we're down to 11:10 remaining here in our second period. And it is a 4-4 hockey game. And there you get a look.
There we see Louis getting the Massena crowd excited.
Louis Trevino.
Louis been around a long time. I think Massena's #1 fan. He's been there for the kids for years.
Of course, we can't forget about people like John Story also.
Oh, there's another one. Just people real concerned about the kids.
And real fans of Massena athletics.
That's right.
Canton with a puck. They roll in. Ramsdell directs into the corner. The Golden Bears out here with Gilson, Dan Jacobs, Thad Green, John Fay, and Chris Applenap. Red Raiders replying with Matt Reed, Jason Chilton, Sebastian Bergeron, Derek DeRocher, and Chris Aldis. Icing the call against the Canton Golden Bears. There you see our score. And this has been a real exciting game so far.
It's fun to be here today, Chip. This is some of the best hockey in the state you're watching right here on Channel 36 WEPT Sports.
Then you get a look at the Massena bench.
Shot at Matt Reed. He's playing another good game from Massena.
Red Raiders hold in. Kenny Smith behind the net. Red Raiders in forechecking. As Spanberg. Now Brian Terry. Here's a shot from the point that's wide of the mark. That was taken by Frank Joy. Now being knocked down is Josh Spanberg, but Kenny Smith anticipates and holds the puck in. Finally, the Golden Bears.
Good play by Kenny Smith.
As he knocks down Ed Fay. Now a race for the puck. Frank Joy back. Joy trying to get away from Andy Crow. Now a nice pass for Brian Terry. 2-on-1. Terry moving in. Nice pass onto the stick of Derek Gladding, and Gladding couldn't get it past goaltender John Applenap. Good save. Kenny Smith fires one wide of the mark. Here's at the point is Frank Joy. His shot goes off a leg, and the Golden Bears play at the center. Red Raiders have to regroup there. This is Josh Spanberg. Spanberg's got Terry going to the net, and Gladding slides it across.
And he scores!
And they wave it off because the net was knocked off its moorings. Right? Derek Gladding had collided with a Canton player. They ran into the net, and the net came off the pins. And the referees, Mike St. Louis and Butch Martin,
they say no. Boy, I thought Massena was going to take it right there, with Terry putting that one home.
So our score remains 4-4, 8:54 to go. Face off in the Canton zone. Derek DeRocher with it for the Red Raiders. Matt Reed, Trevor Cameron, Brian LeBombard up front here for the Red Raiders. DeRocher and Aldis at the points. Here's Aldis. Lets one go. Wide of the mark. This is Mark Tyo with it. Tyo now LeBombard. Oh, Mark Tyo going to the net, but he was too well tied up by Dan Bullock. Good play by Bullock that time.
Massena really working the puck around in the Canton zone. It was almost like Canton was trying a new style of breaking out of their zone, and it just wasn't working. As Massena applying some good pressure.
Golden Bears trying to set up offensively. The puck goes wide of net. Now Ramsdell out of his goal. Pushes it along the boards. Finally coming away is LeBombard for Aldis. Aldis has Cameron and Tyo with him. This is Mark Tyo. Stick handling away from a check. But
oh boy.
We have, a possible breakaway, I should say, but
we had a possible 2-on-0 there for a minute, Jeff.
As Bullock tried to set up Chris Appelknap, but they couldn't connect, fortunately, for the Raiders. Mark Tyo, a pass for Trevor Cameron. He was knocked down. This is LeBombard. LeBombard had Mark Tyo going to the net that time, but broken up. And with a stoppage in play, 7:29 to play, second period, 4-4 our score.
F&L-SEAWAY Bowl would like to announce their second annual Seaway Bowl 9-pin, no-tap team tournament for men, women, and mix. A $3,500 guaranteed first prize will be paid out. You can start your bowling March 6th, which will run through May 2nd. Contact the F&L-SEAWAY Bowl at 769-6992. Don't miss out on this chance. Last year, prize money paid out was $6,625.
The Canton Golden Bears have gone ahead once again, Mickey, 5-4. And it came with a scramble in front of the net, and Chris Appelknap.
Chris Appelknap, that's not the first time we've heard his name today. Off the face-off to the left of Ramsdell, and Canton worked real hard. Ramsdell tried to go down and pick up the puck, and at the doorstep was a Canton player to make it 5-4.
So Gilson and John Fay pick up the assists. And it's 5-4. Canton retake the lead here in this hockey game. Matt Reed with it for the Red Raiders. In front, a quick shot by Chilton, and a pad save by Appelknap. Frank Joy back in his own zone. Along the boards for Matt Reed. This is Jason Chilton. Chilton has Bergeron at the blue line, but Bergeron couldn't control that pass. Kenny Smith holding it in, but only momentarily. The Golden Bears play at the center. Sent in by John Fay as the Golden Bears changing on the fly. This is Matt Reed at his own line, now to center. Matt Reed plays the puck into the Canton zone. Here's good anticipation by Kenny Smith.
Making some good moves.
Now Smith rushes the puck, but is knocked off the play. And Canton can't clear out. The centering try in front. This is Gladding with it to the backhand. He slides it right by. It's loose in front. Red Raiders battling for a loose puck.
And that's going to be called off too. No goal. The referee says no, as Chilton saw the puck in there scrambling and just burst straight in there and tried to muscle it in and did so, but not in time, as the referee says no. And I believe that's 2 goals that Massena's been called back on, and I think Chip justly so.
That time it looked like Appelknap had the puck smothered, or the referee lost sight of it, and he did. Mike St. Louis waved it off like he should have.
Yeah, he had a good angle at what was going on too. So judgment call there. Denise says no.
So score remains 5-4 Canton in the lead with 5:40 to play here in our second period. Red Raiders in forechecking once again. Brian Terry can't come up with a puck. Josh Spanberg loses it in his skates. Golden Bears having a little trouble getting out of their own zone. Now puck is deflected out of play. And another stoppage here. And our face-off will come just inside the Canton blue line. Randy Brown sending out his line of Ed Fay along with K. Geddes. And Andy Crow. Terry can't hold in for the Red Raiders. And this is Sherm Grant. Grant, in over the line for Canton, just rolls it in deep. Going after it there is Andy Crow. Red Raiders beat him to the puck. They move it to center. Josh Spanberg being watched by Dan Jacobs. And the Golden Bears clear out. Now Chris Aldis with the puck. A pass intended for Gladding, too far for him. Icing waved off. And the Red Raiders battling along the boards. Holding in at the line is Chris Aldis. Dan Jacobs shot the puck along the glass, and just as he let it go, Mickey, he was checked on the play. And with 4:23 remaining here in our second period, 5-4 Canton leading in this championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament.
All of us at the center in Massena would like to say good luck to the Massena Red Raiders, the Salmon River Shamrocks, and the St. Lawrence Larrys this season. We also want to announce that we have dances and different events every weekend. So after your sports or activities, come in from the cold and enjoy the center. Phone for more details and more information at 769-9770.
Canton, Jeff Gilson coming down the far side, taking a shot high. And deflects the puck out of the rink. So we have face-off to the left of Ramsdell.
Canton controlling. Here's a shot. And the shot was taken by Brian Coakley. And I'm not sure who that player is for the Massena Central Red Raiders, but he was hit with a puck in front. And there you get a look at Matt Hart, the assistant coach. It might be Trevor Cameron who was down.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
As he took that slap shot, right, and appears to be on the knee area, and he is down. So while we have this break, we're going to step out. 5-4, Canton leading. We'll be right back.
The AKWESASNE fuel station, located at the Mountain Log Cabin on the AKWESASNE Reservation, has a 24-hour gas bar. It features regular, premium, and diesel gases, all tax-free, along with a mini-mart that has tax-free cigarettes, cold drinks, and grocery items. The mini-mart is open 24 hours except Wednesday and Sunday, where it closes at 10. That's the AKWESASNE fuel station on Route 37 in Hogansburg.
Vista's Restaurant, located at Mountain Log Cabin in Hogansburg, New York on Route 37, features a Sunday breakfast buffet, daily lunch specials, homemade pies, and a full breakfast menu. Once again, that's Ista's Restaurant, located at Mountain Log Cabin, combined with AKWESASNE Fuel Station on the reservation in Hogansburg.
3:50 to play in our second period. Trevor Cameron, the injured Massena Central Red Raider player, appeared to take one off the knee. He's down at the Massena bench trying to shake it off right now. Canton in over the line. right on net. Ramsdell with an easy save. This is Mark Tile. Tile, good pass for John Paul Jeunesse. 2-on-1, he's got Brian LeBombard with him. And Jeunesse now for Kenny Smith, the backhand. And a good save by John Appleknap. Kenny Smith
fired a backhand on Appleknap, and Appleknap came up with a good save. John Paul Jeunesse breaking down the far wing, had to do the old Gretzky turn and fed the puck to Kenny Smith on the backhander.
So the Red Raiders who trail 5-4 with 3:20 remaining here in our second period, and a big collision in front. As Chilton fell down in front of that, or was knocked down, I should say. Red Raiders going with Chilton, Bergeron, Matt Reed. They have Aldis and then Ian DeRocher back at the points. Here's Aldis. A shot redirected in front. It's loose. Appleknap down. Matt Reed. Boy. And we got a penalty, and it's holding, and it's going to go to the Golden Bears.
Boy, Matt Reed had a good chance to pump one home, and I think he fanned on the shot a little bit. Took his time, took his composure because he had it, and I think it just went off the stick a little bit wrong, but Massena's going to go on the power play, get a chance to tie this hockey game up before the period ends with 3:02 left in the second period as Chilton, Reed, Aldis, DeRocher, and Bergeron are out there on the power play.
Golden Bears going with Rob Parcell, Dan Bullock, Brian Wallace, and Brian Coakley out there. Delay of the game is the call as they knocked the net off as the Red Raiders were threatening to score. The Canton Golden Bears knocked the net off, I should say. So let's see what the Red Raider power play does here. Aldis at the point for Smith. Red Raiders with nobody in front of the net right at this moment. Chilton.
Chip,
now,
when the puck gets fed back to your defenseman, you got to have your wingers barreling into the goal to get in the screen when that shot's fired.
Here's Bergeron, slides one in front, but there you go. Nobody home for the Red Raiders, and Canton easily clear. 55 seconds remaining on this Massena power play, and 2:20 left here in our second period. Glad you can join us for this one here on Cable 36, Edwards Production Sports, for the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament. And it's been an exciting one. 5-4, Canton leading in this hockey game. Aldis at the point. Trying to get away from one of the Canton penalty killers. Aldis winding. Shot fired wide of the net. Derek DeRocher behind the net from Matt Reed. Reed. Down to 15 seconds left on the Massena power play. Matt Reed still with the puck. Slides into the corner. This is Jason Chilton. DeRocher one times. And deflection tried by Bergeron went into the corner. Penalized player back on. Canton back at full strength. This is Chilton to the side of net. Right on the stick of the man who came out of the penalty box, Thad Green. And the Golden Bears 2-on-1. Green, a pass intended for Bushaw. He didn't hook up with him in time on that one. Now, Red Raiders showing a little sign of panic in their own zone, but they clear the puck. Spanberg back the other way. He overskates. Center ice. Here's Aldis. Aldis moving in, shooting, pack save, rebound, Brian Terry. Trying to get the rebound. This is Aldis. He can't control. He's a tired hockey player. 1-on-1. Back the other way, stick handling, moving in into the backhand.
Boy, there was a tough chance there.
Mike Bushaw, we got...
Behind the play, I think Massena's going to get called on a penalty.
Mike Bushaw had a hold of Frank Joyce's leg. And let's see if Bushaw is going to call both players or just the Massena player. There's Joy going to the penalty box.
And I think it's only going to be Joy, as Joy made a good stop on the 1-on-1, and I think he was a little excited and wanted to get right up and head down back the other end of the ice.
There you get a look at some of our crowd in attendance here this afternoon at the Massena Arena.
Massena worked the puck around real well in the last power play. They were patient.
So coincidental minors are called.
Okay, it is. And that will keep it 5-on-5, I believe, Chip.
Yes, as Bushaw goes off for Canton. And the Red Raiders with this Brian Terry, Josh Banberg, Derek Glotting line. This is Glotting trying to center in front, but he was knocked down on a play. And the Golden Bears with John Fay skated to center. Oh, Fay goes heavily into the boards in front of the Canton bench. Now Spanberg knocked down on a play for the Red Raiders. Spanberg with a puck. He'll roll it in deep. Kenny Smith going after it. Smith has his centering pass go off a leg. Rob Parcell with it. Now Brian Terry deep in the Canton zone. Just 5 seconds to play in our second period. Puck is underneath the Canton Golden Bear, and that's where play will stop. And 2 seconds remaining.
Chip, we've had such an exciting game today. I haven't had a chance to mention our sponsors if I could. The Center, 18 Center Street, Massena. Burns Truck Stop, number 9 in Hogansburg. LBM Lumber, Route 37, Hogansburg. Welcome Homes, Route 37, Massena. Northway Carpets and Floor Center, 138 Massena, Main Street, Massena. And F&L-SEAWAY Bowl in the Hearthaven Plaza, Massena.
So with just 2 seconds remaining in the period and that faceoff coming in the Canton zone, Coach Tim Long elected to pull a goalie for an extra attacker. However, the Golden Bears won the draw, and that concludes our second period of play from the Massena Arena in the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament with our score. The Canton Golden Bears 5, the Massena Central Red Raiders 4. You're watching Northern Athletic Conference hockey action here on Cable 36, Edwards Production Sports.
Here at Econo Fuels Showcase Room, we would like to introduce to you Thermal Pride, the finest in residential heating and air conditioning equipment. I suggest you see the cutaway of the Octotherm oil-fired furnace from Thermal Pride. They're built better to last longer and engineered to perform better than any on the market, with a limited lifetime warranty on the heat exchanger and a 3-year warranty on the burner. We also have Thermal Pride's high-efficiency condensing gas furnace. With the radiant burner of this condensing gas furnace, heat is actually transferred faster, providing warmer air more quickly and efficiently. Come down and see this high-quality Thermal Pride forced air equipment at Econo Fuels on the South Racket River Road, Massena, New York.
And Mickey Edwards back at the Massena Arena. We're after 2 periods of play in the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament with our score, the Canton Golden Bears 5 and the Massena Central Red Raiders 4. And here to recap that second period is Mickey Edwards.
Jason Chilton made the score 4-3, assists from Matt Reed and Darren DeRocher. And Mark Tyo tied it up with Brian LeBombard and Trevor Cameron picking up the assists. And late in the game at 7:37, Chris Appleton for Canton put him up 5-4 with assists going to Jeff Gibson and John Fay, and that's where we stand, Chip.
Third period action getting ready to begin play here. It's been a very exciting game here at the Massena Arena. And the Red Raiders control the draw. This is Jason Chilton at center ice. Chilton plays the puck in deep. Going after it there is Thad Green. Rolls it along the boards, but Chris Aldis held it in. So the Red Raiders down by a goal here. And Derek DeRocher lets a shot go high to John Applenap. And Applenap makes the save, and he covers up for the faceoff.
Well, Massena was able to put some goals in last period to tie it up. There's no reason why they can't do it in the third period. Golden Bears control the draw. This is Brian Coakley behind his own net.
And along the boards for Bullock. It's held in by the Red Raiders. Oh, a pass from Bergeron intended for Chilton. Just went off a skate of a Canton player. Matt Reed trying to do some forechecking at the Canton blue line. Brian Coakley along the boards. Red Raiders, you see, taking some chances here and nearly going. This is Rob Parcell. He fires a shot wide of the mark. He's got 2 goals in this game. Oh, a bouncing puck that went off the glove of Parcell. Don't think it would have counted if it went in, Mickey, but
it was close.
The Red Raiders, as the Canton Golden Bears changing on the fly. Let's see. Here's DeRocher, a long shot. Applenap stops that. Thad Green starts back for Canton. I see Trevor Cameron back on the ice. A good sign for the Red Raiders. Cameron took that shot off his knee earlier in the second period. And Canton now, this is John Fay. Fay works in over the line. Fay checked on the play, and good play by Chris Aldis. Now Cameron behind the net. Is forechecked by Chris Applenap. Kenny Smith now for Mark Tile. Tile, a pass for Brian LeBombard. LeBombard is checked. Trevor Cameron moves in over the line. Cameron with Tile going to the net, but he was knocked down on the play. And a glove pass. Stops play, 12:56 to play. Third period, we'll be back after this.
Hurlbut Tent Rental wants to help you for your next special event. Whether it's an auction, a special event, or a carnival, for all your commercial tent rentals, contact Hurlbut Tent Rental at 764-0376. Hurlbut Tent Rental at 764-0376.
Red Raiders with the Tile, Cameron, LeBombard line still out on the ice, and Avenant and Kenny Smith back at defense. And Canton going with Parcell up front with Bullock and Bushaw. Their first line. It's right in front, and a leg save by goaltender Ramsdell. As this Parcell, Bushaw, Bullock line is the leading point getters for this Canton hockey team. Now Brian Terry, a back pass for Derek Gladding, but Gladding couldn't control that pass. Josh Spanberg skating in. Spanberg fires a shot, but that deflects off a stick. And the Golden Bears play it right on goal, so Ramsdell has to play it. And Abinet, a pass for Brian Terry behind him. And we will get another stoppage in play here. 11:56 to play. Third period. We'll be right back. This is goaltender Applenap clearing the puck. It's loose in front, and the Red Raiders, Brian Terry, went to the backhand and just missed a good scoring opportunity. Terry in front for Spanberg, but too far for him. A bouncing puck, Spanberg trying to keep it in the zone, and the Golden Bears come out. Now in over the line. Here's a shot that's off the post. Thad Green let that slap shot go. And now back the other way. Terry 2-on-1 with Gladding. And a backhand, and Applenap makes the save. As Brian Terry elected to take the backhand himself, he had Derek Gladding going to the net. Not sure if he saw him or not, Mickey, but
that's not a bad play to do. Like I said before, when you're coming down, get the shot on goal. If there's a rebound, you got your winger right there to hammer it home. Good chance and a good save by Applenap there.
Draw. Golden Bears are going to be called for icing here. Not sure what was going on down below as Josh Spanberg was talking with Timmy Long, and not sure what that was all about, but 10:58 to play, third period. We'll be back after this.
Of this program is sponsored in part by Michelex Plastics of Massena.
Red Raiders going with Chilton out there with Reed. Bergeron up front with Kenny Smith and Frank Joy. Out there, centering try for Matt Reed. He just couldn't reach that pass. Behind, to the side of the net. It rolled right out in front, and the Golden Bears were able to clear that pass. Puck is still loose. Finally, the Golden Bears play it to center ice. Frank Joy with it there. Now Canton behind, deep in their own zone. Brian Coakley for Brian Wallace, but he can't clear. Frank Joy with a shot. That goes wide of the mark. Sebastian Bergeron. He's got Reed going to the net, but Bergeron was too well tied up. Canton back the other way, and this is Mike Bushaw. Bushaw, good pass in front. And where is it?
No goal on the play, it looks like. There is going to be a penalty, to who I'm not sure. And it looks like Jason Chilton's going to go off for the Raiders.
Mike Bushaw with good speed. He got over that Red Raider line, Mickey, a moment ago. Two Red Raiders were going after him, and he played a nice back pass, and I think it was right to Dan Bullock.
Boy, right in the slot, and Bullock had an excellent chance to put one home, and a good save.
A key save for Ramsdale and the Red Raiders.
That's right.
There you get a look at some more of the Massena contingent. Here are some of the fans here watching this hockey game this afternoon. So a penalty has been assessed to the Red Raiders. That penalty coming at the 4:54 mark. There you see our score. And the Golden Bears send out that first line of Bushaw, Bullock, and Parcell. They're big guns. And at the point, this is Thad Green. Now Bushaw plays across for Coakley. Red Raiders are able to clear. Trevor Cameron, Brian LeBombard, Derek DeRocher, Chris Aldis, the penalty killing unit out here on the ice right now for the Red Raiders. Skating to center is Rob Parcell. He has 2 goals in this hockey game for the Canton Golden Bears. He lost the puck inside the Massena zone, and the Red Raiders cleared the length of the ice. Now once again, working on the line, this is John Fay. Fay, a pass intended for a teammate. Bushaw a little bit too far. Now the Golden Bears trying to play it in front once again. Broken up from Brian LeBombard. Clears out 9:05 to play in our hockey game. 30 seconds remaining on the Massena penalty. And the Red Raiders trailing 5-4. No problem here in front of the Massena goal as Ramsdale.
Good recovery by Ramsdale. That looked like a classic wraparound. The net was open.
And Chris Appelknap just wasn't quick enough to get over there and slide that one in.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank some of our sponsors while we got a chance. Hotel Netto on 43 Andrews Street, Massena. Open Net Lounge, 10 Romeo Avenue in Massena. And AKWESASNE Fuel Station, and it's a restaurant in Hogansburg.
Golden Bears control the face-off in front of the net. Oh, fanning on his try was Andy Crow as he was in the slot area in front of that Massena net. Now the Golden Bears trying to move the puck in front. Penalized player back on, and the Red Raiders are back at full strength. This is Jason Chilton. Chilton, the center, is ridden off the play. Now Mark Tile. Tile brings it in over the line. Got Chilton going to the front of the net, but he elects to just roll it in deep, and he skates to the bench for some fresh skating legs for the Red Raiders. Derek Gladding in the corner. Gladding loses the puck, and Chris Appelknap can't clear. Kenny Smith rolls ahead. Kenny Smith holding in at the line here. Now Derek Gladding going after the puck. He's checked by Appelknap. Josh Bamberg And the puck is flipped over the glass and out of play. And we're down to 7:49 to play in this one. And it's been an exciting hockey game here at the Massena Arena this afternoon.
Massena did a good job of killing off that penalty with Chilton Penny up at 4:54 in the third. And they had to kill that off. That was a crucial penalty they had to kill off. They did so. They have 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to generate a goal to tie this game up.
Here's a centering try off the stick of Spanberg. A check out of Gladding, but it just, Raiders failed to connect. Now Josh Spanberg going after the puck. Terry breaking, center ice area. But the net came loose.
Well, it wasn't loose, but the referee thought it was.
As the Red Raiders were breaking out in their own zone.
As you could hear, the crowd didn't like that.
Mike St. Louis told Derek Gladding, and he thought the net was off, and that's why he blew the whistle, and that's the story. And here's Brian Terry. Terry is too well tied up before he gets a shot away. 7:15 remaining in our hockey game. 5-4. Canton in the lead. They break out 2-on-1. Bushaw, a pass for Bullock. Bullock to the backhand, but he fell down on the play. Kenny Smith. Foul for Spanberg. Spanberg moving in. Spanberg fans on his shot. And now we get some pushing and shoving after the play.
Kenny Smith getting caught on the boards in the Canton end, and had an excellent effort in back checking to rub the Canton defender off. Kenny Smith once again playing another outstanding game tonight.
Red Raiders going with the line of Chilton, Bergeron, and Reed once again up front. And taking the draw here for Canton will be Chris Applelap. He wins the draw. Golden Bears roll along the blue line and out. This is Applelap with a puck. Applelap's got Andy Crow with him. Broken up neatly by Derek DeRocher. This is Applelap flipping in front. Matt Reed was there. Now Reed will come up with a loose puck. Reed's got Chilton breaking. Matt Reed in over the line on the backhand, and out of his net is John Applelap, and he steers the puck away. At center ice, DeRocher. He falls down. John Fay rolls in deep as Canton changing on the fly. Looks like we have an injury, and it's John Fay who's slow to get up in the center ice area for Canton. Now Dan Bullock on a breakaway. Bullock in all alone, he shoots, and I think he hit the goal post. And then he runs into goaltender Mike Ramsdell, and the net is knocked off its moorings.
Chip, I'm not sure if that hit the goal post or if Ramsdell made the save. That's hard to tell from our angle. Anyways, Massena able to hang on.
With 6:06 remaining in our hockey game. 5-4. Canton Golden Bears in the lead here in the championship game of the Massena Invitational Tournament. Here's Coakley with a shot from the point off the draw net. Here's wide of the mark. Cameron now with it at center. Cameron in over the line. He's got LeBombard going to the net, and his shot deflects off the stick in high over the Canton goal. Golden Bears, this is Rob Parcell, the center. Parcell's got Bushout with him. Here's a long shot, and boy, that was a close call, but I guess it was waved off anyway.
I'd like to take this time to mention some more of our sponsors. Hurlbut Tent Rentals, Louisville Road, Massena. PEETS-JEWELERS, 10 Phillips Street, Massena. And Winthrop Furniture in Winthrop.
Trevor Cameron in over the line, and a backhander that just goes wide. Mark Tyo with it behind the net. Tyo trying to slide it in front. Here's a backhander by LeBombard that goes wide. Now Mark Tyo moving out of pad, saved by Applelap. Tyo was knocked down. Trevor Cameron shooting, and it goes off a leg, and yes, we have a penalty.
And I believe it's going to go to Canton, number 12. Chris Applenap, and Massena's going to get their opportunity to tie this game up with 5:34 left in the third period.
And the Massena Central Red Raiders with this line of LaBombard, Tayo, and Cameron applying pressure on the Golden Bears, and as they did in that Seton Hall game, Seton Catholic game, I should say. And let's see, the Red Raiders on the power play. Chris Aldis. Now here's a shot by Chilton, and a great save with a leg. John Applenap, and the Golden Bears clear the rebound. Aldis, Chilton, the Rocher, Reed, Bergeron, the power play unit. Matt Reed can't control the bouncing puck. We're down to the 5-minute mark in our hockey game.
Massena having a little trouble breaking out of their own zone. They gotta remember that when they're breaking out of their zone, they all got to come together and make sure nobody gets caught with the puck deep in their own zone.
Now this is Aldis. Bergeron waiting at the line. Chris Aldis. Now Chilton going to set up in front. Chris Aldis still with a puck. Now for Jason Chilton. 28 seconds remaining on the penalty to Canton. Golden Bears trying to clear, they do. Dan Bullock. Bullock trying to get away from DeRocher at the line, but Derek DeRocher stopped him. 14 seconds left on the Massena power play. 4:14 left in our hockey game. 5-4 Canton continue to lead. That will do it for the Massena power play.
Massena not applying 2 men on the puck in the Canton zone on a power play. That's key. As Matt Reed was working the puck and didn't have any help along the boards.
The Golden Bears led 4-2 after one period in this hockey game. 5-4 after two, and that's where we stand right here. Josh Banberg tried to set up a teammate in front of the Canton goal, but the Golden Bears intercept. Notice the line changes for Canton now are becoming quicker and faster. Red Raiders. Now Banberg tried to put a move on a Canton defender. That was broken up, and once again, the Golden Bears clear. Out of his net is Ramsdell for Kenny Smith. It's intercepted. Smith knocks down Canton's John Fay. Fay has the puck underneath him, and with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to play in our hockey game, 5-4 our score, Canton in the lead. We'll be right back.
Carpets and flooring. At Winthrop Furniture, we carry a full line of carpets and flooring. Large selections with many designs of bedroom furniture, living room, and dining room sets. Come in and compare our prices. Conveniently located on the corner of Route 11 and Route 420 in Winthrop. We're open Monday through Saturday 9 to 4 and evenings Monday and Friday 7 to 9. That's Winthrop Furniture Incorporated on the corner of Route 11 and 420 in Winthrop, New York. Or phone us at 315-389-5500.
And the Red Raiders applying pressure once again in the Canton zone. Applenap makes the save this time and elects to cover up as Trevor Cameron was right at the doorstep looking for a loose puck. Down to 3 minutes and 4 seconds, Mickey, in this hockey game. 5-4, Canton continuing to lead. Randy Brown looking up at the scoreboard, wanting to make sure that the clock is still moving here. Mark Tile. Kenny Smith. Brian LaBombard. Now in the Canton zone, Brian Wallace. And the puck deflected off a stick and out of play. 2:39 remaining in this hockey game. We'll be right back. Face-off coming outside the Canton blue line. Chris Aldis for Derek DeRocher. Now Bergeron. Red Raiders will move in. This is Chilton. Chilton with Reed going, and then Chilton shooting. Applenap with a good save. John Applenap key there.
Jason Chilton had a good opportunity.
Randy Brown mentioned before the game in our interview that this goaltending...
That's a goal! It's all tied up here! It all started with Jason Chilton's shot from the side of the net. And I'm not sure who's going to pick up the rebound and put it between Applenap's leg. It's number 10, Sebastian Bergeron, tying the game with 2:15 left in the third period. And that's the goal that's going to excite the fans of Massena today.
Just as I got done speaking about the goaltending for Canton, Applenap made the initial save. With the rebound, Sebastian Bergeron moved to the front of the net. Aldis and Chilton picking up assists. So the Red Raiders, after draw, move down once again in the Canton zone. It's tied up 5-5, 2 minutes to play in our hockey game. Now Chilton working along the boards. He lost the puck. Canton can't clear. Aldis sends one on there. Applenap to save the rebound, and Applenap with another save. Red Raiders with it. Matt Reed in front, deflected.
Oh, the bouncing puck, and Chilton was waiting for it to come down. Boy, and you could just see it. He was being patient and waiting for the puck to settle down, and he just couldn't get a stick on it. What a game we got here. We're bringing it to you at the Massena Arena on WEPT Sports, and you can see our score as Massena's excited now. As you can see him on the bench.
And the call on that last goal was Bergeron.
Yeah, Bergeron from Chilton and Aldis at 12:45.
And that's the tying goal.
The tying goal, and Canton coach is going to call a timeout with just 1:44. So, Coach Tim Long, Matt Hart, and Jovan Marsh got to be pleased with the Raider performance today. They showed a lot of character coming back. I think at one point they were down by 3 goals and have come back to tie the game late, 5-5. And I'm sure both teams are thinking possibly overtime, Chip.
Let's recap a little bit here, Mickey. So far in this game with a 5-5 tie, Matt Reed has a goal and an assist for the Red Raiders. Jason Chilton has a goal and 2 assists. And Josh Bandberg with a goal, Mark Tile with a goal, and Sebastian Bergeron. For the Canton Golden Bears, they have goals here this afternoon by Rob Parcell, who's got 2. Brian Coakley has a goal. Mike Bushaw has 2 assists in this hockey game. And Dan Bullock with a goal.
That'll do it for our timeout with 1:44. The face-off's going to come to the left of Applenap. Out there for Massena is Tile, Cameron, and LeBombard.
And after draw, LeBombard moved in front, let a shot go, but it went off the leg. Canton trying to clear. Trevor Cameron holds in momentarily. Now the Golden Bears back. And moving in over the line is Bushaw, but he was steered off the puck. Now Canton trying to set up in front. Canton player knocked down. That was Bullock, and the Red Raiders head back to center. But a good play there, anticipating that pass, was Brian Wallace as he broke that up. Now, a screen shot taken by Rob Parcell. Went wide, 2-on-1. Red Raiders now 2-on-2. This is Cameron.
Shooting a high shot.
Applenap, it's loose in front.
Oh, and Tile with a good chance.
Less than a minute to play in our regulation play. 5-5 our score.
Massena's got to have some back checkers. It looks like the line of Tile, Cameron, and LeBombard got a little tired. That's not the time of the game to be tired with 50 seconds left and tied at 5. Cameron came down, put a high shot on Applenap. Applenap was able to come up with it. And the face-off looks like it's going to be in the Raiders zone. to the left of Ramsdell.
We hope you're enjoying our action this afternoon here on Edwards Production Sports as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Red Raiders controlling. This is Jason Chilton. Chilton over the line. He's got Matt Reed going to the net. And a high shot. Applenaut makes the save. We have an injured player, and it's Andy Crow down on the ice. And he's holding, his hands are up around his neck area, or helmet area, as I'm not sure what happened.
I believe Reed and the Canton player collided.
And they kind of got a high stick,
yeah,
maybe?
Reed's stick, not on purpose, came up maybe under the face mask, or the neck of the Canton player, Andy Crow. So this will give both teams a chance to think about the situation a little bit. We've had nothing but a great game today.
Been a super game. There you go, look at our score. Timmy Cole on the roving camera this afternoon. And Gary Edwards bringing you all the nice action from the camera up above our broadcast location. There you got to look at Gary Edwards and Chip Chapman and Mickey Edwards. Glad to have you on board. Chad Edwards in the trailer behind the Massena Arena.
Chad doesn't get a lot of opportunities to get in front of the camera, but he's the man that does it all behind the scenes and does a real fine job.
Produces our telecasts.
With just 32 seconds left, the puck's deep in Canton territory as the Raiders applying the pressure. The line,
and then in front, this is Chilton on the backhand.
Oh boy, Chilton had quite a chance. And again, the puck wasn't exactly flat on the ice, and Chilton took a swipe at it. He had lots of time.
Chilton and Bergeron that time picked up a loose puck as Brian Wallace, I believe it was, had trouble clearing.
Yeah.
And the Red Raiders were all alone in front, and I bet you that Jason Chilton's
going to be thinking about that one.
That's for sure.
But Applenaut coming up with the save again.
Jason Chilton was a goal in this hockey game to make it 9 on the season. He's picked up a couple assists for 16. So he's got a total of 25 points on the season. And one of the Red Raider leaders.
Massena 5 minutes ago was looking to tie the game up any way they could, and now they have done that and have had their opportunities to take it.
Now the Red Raiders trying to play it in front. We're down to 10 seconds left in regulation play of the Massena Invitational Tournament. 5-5, Canton and Massena. Chris Aldis moving in with 3 seconds. Aldis' shot waved off, as I believe there was an offsides call.
Cameron took a big hit there from a Canton player, and he's up and fine, and a good thing, because he took a beating there. Trevor, a real tough player for Massena.
This Canton Golden Bear team with a 10-1-1 record, and after losing early in the season to the Massena Central Red Raiders, are on a 10-game unbeaten streak, and they have played well here this afternoon.
Chip, we're going to overtime with the score 5-5. What a game.
It's been a super game here.
If Massena can pull this off for the fans, for themselves, they've worked real hard. It'll be real nice to win their tournament.
And while we have this opportunity, why don't we pass along some of our fine community-minded sponsors who help bring you Northern Athletic Conference hockey action here on Edwards Production Sports.
We have Winthrop Furniture Incorporated in Winthrop, AKWESASNE Fuel Station, and it's a restaurant in Hogansburg. Open Net Lounge, 10 Romeo Avenue in Massena. Hotel NADEAU, 43 Andrew Street, Massena. And Econo Fuel, South Racket River Road in Massena. As we just get word, Chip, we're going to play one 5-minute sudden death overtime. 1 5-minute sudden death overtime. So we get a look at the Red Raiders and Tim Long discussing some strategy that they'll
As we get a look at the Massena bench, and there you look at Tim Long. His team trying to keep their unbeaten string intact here as the Red Raiders 10-0-1 on the season. They're only tied to the Potsdam Sandstoners 3-3. The Canton Golden Bears, I understand, are playing this season they are in Division 1. But I understand once the playoffs start in the sectionals, they will drop down to Division 2, from what I understand, Mickey. And it must be, it must have something to do with school enrollment, I would guess.
There we get a look at some of the people coming out for today's game.
That's part of the Canton contingent here at the Massena Arena, who have enjoyed a good hockey game so far. 5-5 our score. Maybe you can recap that third period. It was 4-2 after one period in this hockey game in favor of Canton, and then check that 5-4 Canton after 2 periods.
And the only goal going to Bergeron at the 12:45 mark, assisted from Chilton and Aldis, and it all started with Aldis keeping the play in at the blue line and Chilton firing a hard low shot on Appleknap, and Bergeron pounded it home to tie the game. We're almost set for action here. The score tied 5-5. We're going a 5-minute sudden death overtime. Starting for the Raiders, we have Matt Reed, Chilton, and Bergeron.
And the Red Raiders control a draw. They played into the Canton zone, but it's immediately sent out to center ice. This is Jason Chilton now for the Red Raiders for Bergeron. For Matt Reed, too far now. Reed breaking in though, gets away. Lets a shot go. That went off a leg. Chilton with Bergeron set up in front. Jason Chilton in front of the goal.
Boy, Chilton walked out in front, and there were a lot of bodies there. No one could really get a stick on it for the Raiders, and it's cleared.
Now Dan Bullock, who has one of the goals here today.
Rubbed out nicely by Aldis.
Now the Golden Bears center in front. It's loose. Bouchard with a shot, and that went off a leg. That's a close call in the Red Raider zone. This one shot wide of the net by Brian Wallace. Sebastian Bergeron. Stick handles in over the line. And Jason Chilton was astride offside. And we get a stoppage in play. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to play in our hockey game. Delighted to have you with us here on Edwards Production Sports. There you see our score. And the goaltender Appleknap was at the bench. And
I don't think the ref spotted that. The referee's chuckling now. He dropped a puck without the goalie in the net.
Randy Brown sending out here Eddie Fay along with Chris Appleknap. Red Raiders though moving in over the line. LeBombard lost his stick though. It's behind the Canton goal. The Red Raiders trying to poke it home. It's loose in front. And the Golden Bears will knock it out to center ice.
And down for no icing. I thought it was going to be.
Frank Joy placed it in the Massena line, but not out. Golden Bears doing some checking along the boards. Center ice. Red Raiders controlling. LeBombard is hit, as stepping up on the play was Dan Jacobs, and he made a good hit. Here's a long shot. Whoa, look out. Ramsdell with some problems.
Ramsdell,
as Rob Parcell let this long shot go, and Ramsdell took it high in his chest area, made the save. And we're down to 3:06 in overtime. And our score, 5-5. Parcell on the draw against Terry. Parcell wins the draw, but he hit a Massena player. Josh Banberg, a nice pass for Brian Terry. Terry stick handles in. He's got Aldis going to the net with gliding.
Oh boy, what a drop pass by Terry. Beautiful save by Appleknap to Gladding in the slot and put the shot on. And Appleknap is coming up big.
Now Gladding in again, but the Golden Bears clear this time out of their own zone. 2:35 to play in the overtime. Now Bullock.
Oh boy, there's a hit there.
Bullock looked like he was calling for the fair catch that time in football, Mickey, and he got hit.
Freed really sent Canton player for a flop right in front of the Canton bench, and we got 2:26 in overtime. Canton against Massena, the score tied at 5.
Kenny Smith for the Red Raiders moves the puck in deep. The Golden Bears try to go to center, and they do. Now that's
going to be offside.
Chris Appleknap, and you're right, as John Fay was offsides at the Massena blue line. .212 to play.
And you see our score.
Golden Bears send the puck in deep off the draw. This is Kenny Smith for Matt Reed. He can't control. And the Red Raiders will move it out. But Chris Appleknap is there to intercept, and he just rolls it in deep once again for the Golden Bears. Now Kenny Smith. Bergeron. Chilton. Jason Chilton moving in. Chilton trying to get around a couple of players. Now Matt Reed with it. Reed tries to slide it ahead for Chilton, but it was broken up. Oh, Chilton took a pass from Reed, but he was too well tied up.
Joy with the shot, blocked by Canton defender.
And Red Raiders still trying to apply some pressure. Minute 26 to play in our overtime period. Now we might have a break. Push-off is taken down, and we got a penalty.
Kenny Smith picked up the puck as Frank Joy took a shot at the blue line, blocked by a Canton defender. And Joy is called for a penalty in overtime, mind you, at 1:18 left. And it looks like it's going to be hooking and misconduct, which is
Mike St. Louis calling Sebastian Bergeron for a misconduct.
That's usually something you don't see in overtime, Chip.
Well, Bergeron probably said something to him about the call, which saying, you know, that's a, he must have mentioned something to Mike St. Louis. I'm probably going to say it in much easier terms than what Bergeron probably said, but he probably said, that was a bad call to make, referee. And Mike St. Louis, really, it looked to us from here, from our location, like it was a trip.
Yeah, it's 1:18 in overtime. You don't usually see penalties called.
And a referee, I don't think, wants to get into a position where
now you're giving an unfair advantage. Well, I shouldn't say an unfair, but a clear advantage for Canton in overtime at 1:18.
Well, Timmy Long very upset as he is saying that was no hook, as he was telling Mike St. Louis.
Well, that is the call, and Joy's going to sit down for a minute and a half.
And Canton, who have scored 2 power play goals so far in this hockey game. Rob Parcell has a power play goal, and Dan Bullock will have another opportunity here. Coming into this game, the Canton Golden Bears had outscored their opponents, Mickey, 82-19. And the Massena Central Red Raiders had outscored their opponents 66-20. So these two teams really evenly matched. And now, of course, 5-5 our score here. And a minute 18 left. And the Red Raiders, with that misconduct call, are 2 men down. So they really have their work cut out for them here.
Oh boy, that's I'm not sure if I agree with that call. It's hard to tell, and I guess it's the discretion of the referee, and that's what it is. And Massena is down. I didn't realize they were going to be down 2 men, and they are, as they send out Chilton, Aldous, and Smith with 1:05 left.
And Randy Brown has out there Rob Parcell along with Mike Bushaw, probably Dan Bullock. Massena has called timeout. Saves in that third period, I'm not sure if we gave them to you or not. 7 for Massena for a 3-period total of 18. And check that, John Applenet in net for Canton had 15 saves in that third period for a 3-period total of 33. Face-off will come just outside the Massena Red Raider blue line. And it's Chilton, Smith, and Aldous. And the Golden Bears going with Bush, Parcell, and Bullock up front. And they have Thad Green out there, along with Brian Coakley.
And Aldous will clear the puck.
A minute remaining on the penalties and 49 seconds remaining in overtime. 5-5 our score. Canton with a 2-man advantage here. And they bring the puck in over the line. This is Bushaw. Tries to play it across ice. Broken up.
Chilton making a nice play.
Chilton with a big hit on Thad Green, and Green goes down. Here's a long shot. And Thad Green slow to get up as Jason
Chilton just got the Massena fans excited as he made a great play in his own zone to intercept the Canton pass and push the puck down in the Canton zone and put a nice hit on the Canton defender. And we hope he is okay as we see the coach taking care of him.
That's Thad Green. The way he went in the boards, it could have been a shoulder or collarbone.
Yeah, it's. We hope he's okay.
He is still being attended to by Canton's assistant coach. And he is back on his skates now. .38 seconds remaining on the penalties. To the Massena Central Red Raiders, they are 2 men down. 26 seconds left on the clock in overtime. 5-5 Massena Canton.
Chip, the player that was hurt, it looks like number 7, Thad Green for Canton, and he's okay and was going to stay out there, but the referee made him leave, and that is a rule.
Off the draw, the Golden Bears clear to center ice. And a long shot blocked by Aldous as Chris Aldous went down to block that shot by Bushaw. In front, Bullock! Parcell scores!
And Canton's going to take this game.
Rob Parcell scores in overtime with 13 seconds remaining to give the Canton Golden Bears a 6-5 overtime win over the Massena Central Red Raiders in the Massena Invitational Tournament. And there you get a look at some of the happy fans in the Canton section here at the Massena Arena. And Rob Parcells on the night will pick up the hat trick. And this was just a real good game.
Parcell was sitting alone in the slot, received a pass from deep behind the net, and put it home for the Canton Golden Bears as they're going to win it 6-5 in overtime.
So 4:47 of overtime. Rob Parcell gets the goal. We did not get a chance to hear the assists. Both teams shaking hands. Good comeback, good battle by the Red Raiders today.
Yeah,
they were down early.
They were down early by, I think, 3 goals, Chip. And they maintained their composure. They played good hockey. They fought real hard to get back into this hockey game. Did so, tied it up, had some chances to win the game late in the third period. The puck just didn't bounce their way, forced to overtime.
And Massena outshot Canton in this hockey game, 40-25.
Massena played a good hard game today. They have really nothing to be ashamed of.
Canton came out early and scored 2 quick goals on shots from the blue line. Tough goals for the Red Raiders to give up. The Red Raiders came back, made it 2-1. Canton made it 3-1. Then it was 3-2. Canton scored once again to make it 4-2, and that's how the first period ended. Then the Red Raiders came out, tied it up at 4-4. Canton went ahead 5-4, and that's how the second period ended. The only goal in the third period went to the Massena Central Red Raiders. And that made it 5-4, or 5-5, I should say. And then we went into overtime, and Rob Parcell scored for Canton in overtime to win it.
Chilton, Cameron, and Aldis accepting the second place trophy from Martha Slack.
Dan Bullock and Rob Parcell, the captains of this Canton team, receiving the championship trophy. Martha Long with Martha Slack, athletic director at the Massena Central, presenting the awards, trophies.
The all-tournament team defenseman from Canton, Thad Green.
Thad Green makes the all-tournament team on defense.
From Massena,
of Canton.
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith, number 5. Kenny's played once again another super game. Well deserved.
Forwards from Potsdam, Mike Saber.
Mike Saber from Potsdam is an all-tournament selection up front.
Afterwards, coach, please. The all-tournament team forwards from Massena, Trevor Cameron.
Trevor Cameron. Picks up a selection to the all-tournament team. Jason Chilton.
Jason played a great game, along with Cameron today.
Final award by Mrs. Slack, a plaque symbolic of the most valuable player of the 1993.
I'm going to guess that's Rob Parcell of Canton.
That's my guess.
Player from Canton, number 20.
Rob Parcell. And Rob Parcell, who had 2 goals last night, picks up the hat trick here tonight and the game winner. So 6-5, Canton wins the Massena Invitational Tournament in a thriller in overtime over the Massena Central Red Raiders. And that'll just about do it from the Massena Arena. For Mickey Edwards and our entire Edwards Production Sports, I'm Chip Chapman. Thank you very much and have a pleasant good night.